there's a horrible, terrible little furry monster with sharp teeth and a horrible growl that's been keeping me up at night for the past week. This is the horrible, terrible little monster. It's terrifying. A lot of questions I have to answer. For Sarah's questions about audiobooks, I actually just purchased the Twilight audiobook for my mom. She really liked it, but I didn't so much. I mean, it was okay. I couldn't help it. It's the way she says Bella that kind of just... I haven't listened to any audiobooks just for pleasure reading. I actually had to listen to some for college, and it kind of turned me off to the whole thing. I really like to actually read a book myself and hear the characters the way I want to hear them in my head. I know that's kind of weird to say, but you know what I'm talking about. For Claire's question about if you could go back to a certain time in the past, what would it be? I would probably have to say the Renaissance period, just because we had so many like great artists come out of that time, and it was kind of a revolutionary, rebel kind of thing. I don't know, I just think it would be neat to experience, the lords and the ladies and the... I do not remember who asked the question, but if we could pick a song that just screamed Twilight, what would it be? Right off the top of my head, I would have to say Lullaby by the Spill Canvas. It just fits so well with the dynamic between Edward and Bella. I don't have a lot of experience with vampires before Twilight, just kind of like everybody else said. My former roommate was really into vampires, and my cousin was into like mythical romance, so that's kind of what got me started on the road to reading stuff like that. My first book that I actually sat down and read knowing that there would be vampires in it was this book, The Silver Kiss by Annette Curtis Claus. And I read it after I read Blood and Chocolate. But I didn't go seeking Twilight because I'd read that book. I stumbled upon Twilight completely by accident. Vampires themselves are so like mysterious and elegant in their own right. No matter how you depict a vampire, whether it's the classical Bram Stoker, Dracula, Bela Lugosi vampires, or Stephenie Meyer vampires, they're so like mysterious, and there's something about it that's just kind of romantic. And I think that's why people really flock to that genre, that mythical creature. I know that's probably why I do. But yeah, before Twilight, my vampire knowledge was pretty much limited to watching Interview with a Vampire, which everybody watched because Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise are hot, and add the vampire in there and they're just even hotter. Underworld, The Silver Kiss, and that was about the extent of my knowledge. I wasn't really into vampires, but after reading a few things about them, especially after Twilight, it was like, oh, okay. I have definitely rambled on for long enough, so now I'm gonna wrap it up. Sarah, I'll probably see you tomorrow or sometime this weekend. I'll see the rest of you next week. TTFN.